Welcome back to Peacock TV Spoilers, everyone. Grab your coffee and settle in because the drama we are unpacking today is off the charts. We need to talk about the toxic custody battle brewing between Stephanie Johnson, Alex Kiriakis, and Joy Wesley. Let's get into it. Peacock TV Spoilers. We've been tracking this custody nightmare for weeks, and my jaw is permanently on the floor. Stephanie Johnson is officially spiraling out of control, and watching Stephanie Johnson lose her grip on reality is both fascinating and terrifying. The tension between Stephanie Johnson and Joy Wesley has reached a boiling point, and the tension revolves entirely around baby Kelsey Kiriakis. We all know Joy Wesley dropped the ultimate bombshell by bringing Alex Kiriakis' child into the picture, completely upending the marriage of Stephanie Johnson and Alex Kiriakis. But here is the kicker. Joy Wesley was actually ready to wave the white flag. Yes, you heard me right. After consulting with Bell Black, Joy Wesley was genuinely considering backing down. Joy Wesley was ready to compromise on the custody agreement and allow Stephanie Johnson to be a part of the life of Kelsey Kiriakis. It was a massive olive branch. But of course, in true Salem fashion, somebody had to ruin the peace. And that somebody is Stephanie Johnson. Can you believe it? Instead of letting the legal process play out or trusting Alex Kiriakis, Stephanie Johnson decides to go completely rogue. The minute Alex Kiriakis leaves for work, Stephanie Johnson marches right over to confront Joy Wesley. I can just picture this scene playing out. Stephanie Johnson bursting through the door, eyes blazing with jealousy, completely ignoring the fact that Joy Wesley is holding an infant. Stephanie Johnson goes on a massive tirade, accusing Joy Wesley of plotting evil and actively trying to steal Alex Kiriakis away. Stephanie Johnson flat out calls Joy Wesley a homewrecker to her face. And the tragedy here is that Joy Wesley was literally just about to soften her stance. The explosive interference of Stephanie Johnson completely destroyed any chance of a peaceful resolution. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and I am screaming at my screen for Stephanie Johnson to just stop talking. Let's be real for a second, because it is time for the hot take of the day. I am going to say something controversial that will probably spark a massive debate in the comments, but I stand by my opinion. Stephanie Johnson is the absolute villain in the storyline, and Joy Wesley is actually the victim. I know, Joy Wesley kept the baby a secret initially, but look at the recent actions of Joy Wesley. When Joy Wesley called Alex Kiriakis because Joy Wesley and Kelsey Kiriakis were stranded on the side of the highway with a flat tire and needed insurance information, that was a legitimate emergency. Alex Kiriakis assumed the worst and hung up, and Stephanie Johnson immediately spun the phone call into a manipulative narrative. But Joy Wesley hasn't actually behaved inappropriately with Alex Kiriakis. Joy Wesley just wants Kelsey Kiriakis to be safe. Stephanie Johnson is projecting massive insecurities onto Joy Wesley, and it is making Stephanie Johnson look incredibly toxic. I personally believe Stephanie Johnson is completely unhinged right now, and Stephanie Johnson is destroying her own marriage from the inside out. We have to look at the deep psychology behind the actions of Stephanie Johnson. This isn't just about a baby. This is about control. Stephanie Johnson has been suffering from severe PTSD ever since Stephanie Johnson was kidnapped by Owen Kent. The entire world of Stephanie Johnson was stripped of safety and autonomy. So when Joy Wesley shows up with Kelsey Kiriakis, Stephanie Johnson feels that exact same loss of control. Joy Wesley represents a permanent, unbreakable bond with Alex Kiriakis that Stephanie Johnson simply cannot compete with. Stephanie Johnson is terrified of being replaced, and that fear is mutating into aggressive paranoia. Stephanie Johnson genuinely believes Joy Wesley is an evil mastermind because acknowledging that Joy Wesley is just a scared mother trying to protect Kelsey Kiriakis would mean Stephanie Johnson has to face her own irrational behavior. Stephanie Johnson refuses to believe Joy Wesley was going to change her mind about the custody agreement because peace does not fit the villain narrative Stephanie Johnson has constructed in her head. This whole situation reminds me so much of the classic legacy storylines we used to see with Sami Brady back in the day. Remember when Sami Brady would go to absolute extremes, manipulating custody and faking pregnancies just to keep Austin Reed or EJ DiMera in her orbit? Stephanie Johnson is channeling that exact same desperate, possessive energy. But we also have to talk about the history of Alex Kiriakis. Alex Kiriakis has deep, profound abandonment issues stemming from his biological mother, Angelica Devereaux. Angelica Devereaux basically tossed Alex Kiriakis aside, leaving Alex Kiriakis with a massive emotional void. For Alex Kiriakis, fatherhood is the ultimate chance to heal that childhood trauma. Alex Kiriakis wants to be the perfect present father that Alex Kiriakis never had. So when Stephanie Johnson goes behind the back of Alex Kiriakis to attack Joy Wesley, Stephanie Johnson isn't just insulting Joy Wesley. Stephanie Johnson is threatening the fragile family dynamic that Alex Kiriakis so desperately needs to heal his own inner child. So, what happens when Alex Kiriakis finds out about this disastrous confrontation? Because, Alex Kiriakis will find out. I predict Alex Kiriakis is going to be incredibly annoyed, but Stephanie Johnson is going to play the victim card so hard, Stephanie Johnson is going to twist the narrative, crying to Alex Kiriakis that Joy Wesley attacked first and that Joy Wesley is actively plotting to steal Alex Kiriakis. Stephanie Johnson will try to manipulate Alex Kiriakis into believing that Joy Wesley is a massive threat to their marriage. But here's the thing about Alex Kiriakis. Alex Kiriakis might be a bit of a playboy historically, but when it comes to Kelsey Kiriakis, Alex Kiriakis wants peace. Alex Kiriakis knows that engaging in a dirty, mudslinging war with Joy Wesley will only hurt Kelsey Kiriakis. Alex Kiriakis is not going to agree to any sinister plots against Joy Wesley, no matter how much Stephanie Johnson begs Alex Kiriakis to fight dirty. And that brings us to the predictive lore, because Peacock TV Spoilers, we know exactly where this is heading. If you ask me, this is a huge mistake, because Stephanie Johnson is not going to back down just because Alex Kiriakis says no. When Alex Kiriakis refuses to play dirty, Stephanie Johnson is going to take matters into her own hands. I firmly believe we are about to see Stephanie Johnson launch a secret, ruthless campaign to secure sole custody of Kelsey Kiriakis for Alex Kiriakis. Stephanie Johnson doesn't just want 50/50 custody anymore. Stephanie Johnson wants Joy Wesley completely eradicated from their lives. Stephanie Johnson wants sole custody, so Stephanie Johnson can play the perfect stepmother and cut Joy Wesley out of the picture permanently. Stephanie Johnson is going to build a master plan to destroy Joy Wesley in family court. How is Stephanie Johnson going to execute this dark plan? Stephanie Johnson is a brilliant PR executive. Stephanie Johnson knows exactly how to spin a story and destroy a reputation. I theorize that Stephanie Johnson is going to start digging into the past of Joy Wesley, looking for any shred of dirt Stephanie Johnson can find. Maybe Stephanie Johnson will hire a private investigator to follow Joy Wesley hoping to catch Joy Wesley in a compromising position. Or worse, what if Stephanie Johnson sets Joy Wesley up? What if Stephanie Johnson plants evidence to make Joy Wesley look like an unfit mother? We already know Stephanie Johnson is capable of deleting crucial voicemails and hiding medical emergencies from Alex Kiriakis. If Stephanie Johnson is willing to risk the health of Kelsey Kiriakis just to keep Alex Kiriakis away from Joy Wesley, there is absolutely no limit to how low Stephanie Johnson will stoop in a courtroom battle.
Stephanie Johnson is going to try to paint Joy Wesley as an unstable, manipulative homewrecker to a judge, all while Stephanie Johnson hides her own severe PTSD and erratic behavior.
The absolute irony of this entire situation is that the desperate attempts of Stephanie Johnson to save her marriage are going to be the exact thing that destroys the marriage. Alex Kiriakis wants a peaceful co-parenting relationship. If Alex Kiriakis discovers that Stephanie Johnson is secretly plotting to strip Joy Wesley of her parental rights, Alex Kiriakis is going to be utterly disgusted. Alex Kiriakis loves Kelsey Kiriakis too much to let Stephanie Johnson use the baby as a pawn in a jealous turf war. Stephanie Johnson thinks Stephanie Johnson is fighting for Alex Kiriakis, but Stephanie Johnson is actually proving the original point made by Joy Wesley. Stephanie Johnson is too unstable and dangerous to be around baby Kelsey Kiriakis. The initial instinct of Joy Wesley to draft legal documents keeping Stephanie Johnson away from Kelsey Kiriakis is being validated every single time Stephanie Johnson acts out. The writers are setting up an explosive climax for this storyline. We are barreling toward a courtroom showdown that will tear the Kiriakis and Johnson families apart. Steve Johnson and Kayla Brady are going to be devastated when Steve Johnson and Kayla Brady realize how far Stephanie Johnson has fallen, and Justin Kiriakis is going to have a massive headache trying to navigate the legal fallout. This is no longer just a simple custody disagreement. This is a full-blown psychological warfare campaign orchestrated by Stephanie Johnson, a woman who is losing her grip on reality. I cannot wait to see how Joy Wesley retaliates, because Joy Wesley is a mother bear protecting Kelsey Kiriakis, and Joy Wesley is not going to go down without a massive fight. So I have to ask you guys, do you think Stephanie Johnson is justified in attacking Joy Wesley, or has Stephanie Johnson officially crossed the line into villain territory? Will the secret plan of Stephanie Johnson for sole custody blow up in her face and cost Stephanie Johnson the love of Alex Kiriakis forever? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. We read every single one of them. And if you love diving deep into the drama of Salem, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from Peacock TV Spoilers.